Hello everyone, this is my brother who shares jewelry knowledge and buries my industry knowledge channel. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. What happened a few days ago, as a community on YouTube, I just post a post, so the price of diamonds is rising rapidly in the nearby row. And if you pay attention to the price of diamonds, you should see a lot about diamonds in the nearby row. Price news is just like some news about diamond prices. There are too many departments, so I'll give examples one by one. What if you have some friends, if you may need to buy diamonds in the near future, I hope you can forward a YouTube so you can see the upcoming diamond price trend. The price has risen all the way from the previous year, not the previous year, but from September of the year before last to April of last year. In fact, I have reminded everyone that the price of diamonds has risen so much, but what about YouTube? I mentioned that everyone's diamonds have risen again, but I know the network. Yes, even my friend who left a message on YouTube doesn't really believe in diamonds. It's just a bit of value preservation and the price will continue to rise. In fact, it may be because the economy has begun to recover. That is regardless of Hong Kong. In fact, many countries have switched off since last year. In fact, there is a retaliatory consumption. The demand for diamonds has begun to rebound and the price has been rising all the way, just like DBS, one of the largest diamond suppliers in the world. It's a diamond auction and the prices of diamonds in it have risen sharply. What is the price of round diamonds in this auction? It's been 2021 that DBS has increased its price by 8%. In fact, DBS has increased its price many times, but the price increase is the majority and it is the increase of some larger diamonds, but this time it is different. Most of the increase is concentrated on a few small diamonds, so what part is the price increase? Actually, when it reaches 20%, of course I talk about it all the time, the law of supply and demand requires that the demand for economic recovery is so huge that the price naturally rises. In fact, there are all of them. Many friends ask me if I can count so many. Just ask me, and if you buy diamonds at a high price, why don't you wait until the average time to buy them first? Actually, at the beginning, I can hesitate because I'm a crystal ball. First, I know that diamonds will rise and fall, but I will use a fuzzy logic to experience diamonds, and generally speaking, they will fall. After that, it will rise very quickly, but before that, I was wondering if the epidemic situation will start to improve slowly. So when the factories in India are polishing diamonds, some workers are starting to work again, and the supply of diamonds is starting to recover slowly again. Will there be any room for a correction in a normal diamond? But a very big thing happens in the near row. It's Russia, and it's a war with Ukraine. Each is a jewelry channel. I won't comment on whether it is right or wrong to fight. Some star citizens, have nothing to do with diamonds when fighting. I will tell you a little bit of a cold knowledge. I am currently the largest supplier of diamonds in the world. In fact, it's not me all the time. I hear that there is a diamond monopoly DBS and the name of a company is Arosa. You may not have heard of this name, but you can download this company on the wiki, right? According to the released data, it owns at least 1/3 of the world's diamond resources but then supplies it to the market. There are about 60% rough diamonds and 40% gemstone grade diamonds buried in them, and the supply of one supplier, well, it has surpassed DBS and it is a #1 diamond supplier in the world. To put it so nicely, what the hell is this company doing? I want to talk about a company with 69% shares, which belong to Russia. Together with the local government, you can definitely understand that this company is a state-owned enterprise and everyone knows it. Ukraine is at war with Russia, and at this moment, it is for so many countries around the world, including the European Union, NATO, and the United States. In short, all countries are fine. Pakistan refuses to pay back the money and the sanctions are tight. First of all, if sanctions talk about logistics, they will definitely be affected, and everyone at home is so concerned. Just talk about Russia. Will I ban Russian oil exports? In fact, the other thing is whether the export of other goods will be banned, and will it include the export of diamonds? Even if there is no ban on exports, you have heard of it before you? SWIFT is just a foreign currency international transfer. Under the sanctions, can a company continue to supply diamonds to all parts of the world normally? I don't know whether the impact is big or not, but I am sure that it will be affected. You can take a look at the stock price trend of this company. The Russian government temporarily closed the stock market on February 28th. Hey, until I shoot this video for a moment, the stock market is still at a standstill. In fact, the stock price has fallen by 30%. When a company's stock price has fallen so sharply and it is even more impossible to raise funds in the stock market, it will of course affect the company's operations. I won't talk about these economic aspects, but this one thing has already caused it. In fact, the supply of diamonds itself is already very tight. But what about home? It will affect him even more. How can it lead to the supply? It's very troublesome. I wonder if you have noticed it. Actually, since the beginning of this year, there are some luxury goods, LVMs, and some luxury brands. In fact, a new round of price increases has been completed, and compared with May and June last year, the price of diamonds has increased by 30 to 50%. Last year, it has risen and fallen, and it is about 10%, but the increase this year is very exaggerated, and for a period of time, it has been upgraded for 7 rounds, 7 times. And of course, let's talk about demand first. Supply and demand are so supply. So it's less to turn over the country with the largest demand for diamonds in the world, just like my motherland. According to data from the Shanghai Diamond Exchange, how much did China import in the first half of 2021 last year? The amount of $1.85 billion in polishing diamonds has actually exceeded that of the whole year of 2020 compared with 2. What about 19 years? Before the epidemic, it was said that the growth rate was about 50%, which was 50% more than before the epidemic. So what is the demand for Chinese people's favorite diamonds because of the epidemic? The system is completely affected, 中多钱. Hey, in 2021, the value of diamonds imported through the Shanghai Diamond Exchange is 33.3 billion yuan, which is very exaggerated. It is an increase of 76% compared with the previous year, which is a record high. Brother, I can tell you that there must be a 7th or 8th round of diamonds. The increase is at least 20%. Actually, I'm already very conservative because it's a duplex. When did I shoot this YouTube? In fact, Ukraine is fighting with Russia. In fact, it lasts up and down the 10th day of a week. In fact, it is. As for the supply of rough diamonds, it doesn't really have such a big impact. So the price of diamonds does not actually reflect the impact of the war. If you have some friends, I think you really need diamonds, let me. Well, you can buy it in a week or 2 or 3 weeks because it will definitely continue to rise soon. Of course, in this world, the family inflation is tight. Don't talk about your family's oil price. Everyone knows what's going on. Oil prices affect inflation because everything requires logistics. Even if you have a vegetable and a roll of paper cutting requires logistics. If there is logistics, it requires oil. Because it needs transportation, there are many petroleum products in the world, so it must be inflation that will be passed on to consumers in the end. Of course, in fact, I am a Hong Kong person. It's changed because my Hong Kong dollar is pegged to the US dollar, so the US dollar is rising. The spending power of the Hong Kong dollar should still be able to keep up, but the increase in the currency will definitely not be able to catch up with the price increase of diamonds. Okay, so everyone should pay attention to this. I won't talk about the economy. I hope this YouTube can help everyone this time. If you think this YouTube is interesting, I hope you can subscribe. If you want to know more about diamonds, you can check out my other YouTube sites. See you next time.